video specifically for everybody in the BOBM groups. And so, with that being said, I just want to thank everybody that is tuned in live and that will tune in live uh, in the future, or tune in and catch the replay. Today, as promised, I have another amazing guest. I actually call her my sister. Yeah, I know we look just alike, right? She is my sister from another mister, but we are both believers in Christ, and huge believers. There's been times that we've sat and prayed together. Even though we're in completely different countries, we're connected through the blood. So I wanted to introduce y'all to my sister, Miss Lizzie Tree. How are you?
Hello, hello, everyone. I am fantastic. I feel so blessed. I feel so honored. My brother from the same father, our Heavenly Father. I love you so much. And I'm so happy to be here to be able to inspire, to be able to share my little story. And just to share with the world what wonderful things could happen to your life sometimes, and other times it takes a little bit of work. We were just talking about that behind the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing that I want to kind of touch on, because most people are like, well, we see her and you have that she's an international podcast host, but it must have been easy, right? So tell us a little bit. I see the face. I see the face. Trust me.
Yes, I'm rolling my eyes because it wasn't definitely always that easy, brother. It took it This is going to go back a little bit farther than you probably thought. It's going to go back to when I was 5 years old, and I remember playing with a stick and thinking, pretending that I was a host of a famous TV show or a radio host. And that was kind of my little dream. I mean, if you take yourself back and you remember, what did I used to do when I was a 5-year-old boy or girl? And you close your eyes and you see yourself playing with trucks, or playing as a doctor, all those things that kind of went by, and some of you stick to it and some of you didn't. My case, I didn't. I remember playing and shoving that stick into people's face and saying, "What do you think the weather is like today?" And people used to make fun of me. And I remember I was 5, 6, 7, that kind of age when playing. It was fun and it seemed real. And you thought that you were doing, you were actually playing your own life in the future. And those things kind of wither away because life comes, you grow up, and those dreams don't become reality because you see the struggles, and you get a job sometimes, or you get other careers, and those dreams kind of fade away, and they go right back on that brain. They kind of close the door and they shove. Sometimes you remember and sometimes you completely forget. Well, in my case, I was reading to my little girls, which they're not little anymore, they're teenagers. I was reading a book, The Little Train That Can. I don't know if you have that in the States, but we definitely have here in Canada. And the little train that can is, shaga, 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 could do anything. It could travel anywhere. And that brought me back to my dream. I was telling my girls, you could do anything you want, especially with God's power, with God's inspiration. If you pray for it, you could do anything you want to do in life. And here I am preaching, but then it brought me back. What was my dream? And it brought me back to that little girl with that stick, whether it was a broom, half a broomstick, or even something from a tree, interviewing people. And I thought, what happened to my dream? And I kind of thought about it, and it made me a little bit sad. And I said to the girls, you know what, we're done the story. We're going to finish it another day. And I went to the bathroom and I actually cried. And I'm thinking, why am I crying? Because
Oh,
that was a dream. That was something that I really, really, really aspired to do. That night, I decided to Google Some of you have careers which you went to school to or if you are a podcaster yourself, maybe you've done journalism. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just decided to use Google University and college YouTube and kind of immerse myself and figure it out on my own how to do that. And I kind of opened my very first show. It was on Sunday night, right after church. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it just so I can say I did it, even if I fail. Because that way I can tell my girls, well, I had a dream. I tried it. It didn't work, but I failed. See how we're sabotaging ourselves right from the beginning? I was
Mm.
doing kind of that to myself. And I remember having 1, 2, 3 Sundays. Maybe it was about 6 months worth of Sundays. And I got one listener. And that one listener contacted me, and it was from the UK. I remember I always tell this story. I'm sorry if some of you have already heard it. And that listener said, I love your style. By the way, my style is it's always been this way. Tell me who you are, what you do, contact info, anything new. That is the theme of my show. And I'm going to this author was an author and a coach from the UK. Contacted me and said, I'm going to Canada. I would love to promote my book and my coaching. Would you interview me? And I'm thinking, wow, somebody actually listened, not only from Canada, the US, from the UK, and she wants me to promote herself. And I thought that was amazing. But that was after 6 months, and the work kept going and going. But one success led me to another success and to another great story. And here I am right now. I would say I'm going on my eighth year this February. So an anniversary, 8th year. And I'm heard in 84 countries right now, all across the world. I have a good follower, not millions, but it is that those key people that love to be on my platform, and people that I love to have on my platform. So it's been a ride. But
There
for
you
me,
go.
that little
Listen,
thing.
and that's a great thing that, like you said, your when you initially started, it wasn't you had forgotten the dream, right? And I was just having this conversation with one of the authors, and I got to introduce you soon. She's actually one of the survivors of 9/11. She was the one of the in-flight operators for US 91.
Wow.
So very historic, right? And it's like you have to continue to live in that dream. You have to continue to remember what it was that you wanted. And I can say, I've been on your show, and it was an amazing experience. It was so fun because it's just natural the way that you host and the way that you promote. But you're not just talking to people here in the US or just in Canada or in the UK. Where are some of your other listeners tuning
That
in from?
yes, absolutely.
Wait a minute, and I can't. Something just happened with the audio. Hold on.
No worries.
Something just happened with the audio. Say what you said again.
Can you hear me now?
No, give me give me a second. We got to get this audio right. The audio
No
was
worries.
right. Wait a minute. Y'all give me a few seconds. We'll get this right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
You
me?
can hear me. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I've had this happen before.
See, just like we were talking about, sometimes those issues happen. And say something.
Yep. Hello?
No,
Let me see if it's me.
y'all give me a second. We'll get this. We'll get this right. Okay. Say something.
Hello? 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 Hello, everyone. Okay.
All right. Say something again.
Hello? Hello?
No.
Okay. Hello? Hello? I can go back in.
Hmm. And I know it has to be something that's going to be said that's going to impact somebody, because it wouldn't be. It looks like. So, um, where were we?
Well, you were asking me through this dream following or pursuit of a dream, what else have happened and throughout my platform. And not only I was able to reach my very first country, which was UK, not Canada, not the US, um, but also parts of the world. So after I reached UK, this person was able to open the doors to many other people in England and Ireland and Australia, but also then obviously US, which was the second part, the people that started to reach out, and then Canada. And all of a sudden, because I do speak three other languages, I realized it would be nice to kind of reach my niche, people from my own culture. And so I started, I speak Portuguese, so I started reaching people that speak Portuguese, and obviously Spanish, which is my natural, my mother tongue. And just the last 3 years with the pandemic, a lot of places 3 years ago closed, as you probably experienced in the
Mhm.
States, and we experience here in Canada and many other parts of the world. A lot of authors that had books that were going to be launched and they were going to do their signing, singers, songwriters, especially Christian singer songwriters, um, entrepreneurs, and so forth and so on. Because my niche is right now is really singer songwriters, authors, entrepreneurs, inventors, and that's pretty much it. What I have as of right now. So people from South America started to reach out. I ended up watching a podcast from somebody else, and all of a sudden, 3 years ago, this big, big movement, I can say, so it started with them. You know, we have we were starting a concert, and that didn't happen because everything shut down. What do you think of starting a contest? And I thought that was a great idea. How are we going to do that? Well, here we have the internet. They have not a speed that we can consider to be reliable. Not that we had one right now,
Oh.
but but yeah, but they have Instagram, or they have other medium, TikTok. They're very good with that. So we started a contest. I contacted people, judge, and I contacted sponsors. Some of you may know Dr. George Grant. He was one of my sponsors,
Love
and
that.
I love him. And he was able to donate some funds in order to get some prizes for the contest winner, and that just kind of just exploded. We had three contests, two in Argentina and one in Bolivia, La Paz, and people that really wanted to be out there and show their craft and show their gift. Incredible voices to die for. A little the One of the people that won, the latest one, it was a 9-year-old girl with an angelical voice. How can you not reward such a effort, such a uh, work, and such of incredible determination? And so yeah, so it's been a ride, brother, because I can say that this little dream that started as a little girl, which had died, I put it right in the back of my head when
Mhm.
nobody could touch. Today, I can say that I'm able to reach, um, like I said, 84 countries all around the world, and especially when we needed the most, we needed the contact, the hug we couldn't have. We got the internet, and we were able to reach and touch so many people in South America and Central America, Canada, the US, UK, Australia. We have a huge follower in Australia. I have family members too, so that kind of helps up a little bit. Africa, Asia, and places that I had no idea that existed. Actually, I have a map which I put LizyT in all over the place, where people that contacted me and said, I saw your show, I have a book, would you help me to promote it? And if it's a book that matches what my beliefs are, and what are if it's positive and if it's inspiring, oh, for sure, I want them here, I want them in this platform, I want to share it with the world.
Absolutely. And that I love that because like the biggest things that stand out to me, one, you the dream had died. And that's a huge thing, right? Because a lot of people think, just because they see where you are now, most people don't know the backstory of where you came from. And then, like you said, you're in 84 different countries as we speak with your platform. You help authors who are looking to promote their books, and and keywords, if it goes along with your beliefs, because this is your platform. This is a platform that you built, right? So, who's
I have the privilege to be able to say to someone, and I know some people do get offended that they have books that are definitely not a part with what my belief. I usually say, I am sorry, but not this is not your platform. And one of the things that you said, brother, is that the dream died,
Mhm.
and a lot of us, you forget, and sometimes you do remember, and sometimes you figure, like we talked earlier, we sabotage yourself. I am not
Mhm.
going to do it because this is not going to work, or I'm
Mhm.
not going to do it because it's going to be too hard. I'm not going to do it because this is going to be too challenging. I'm not going to
Mhm.
do it because I'm too busy doing something else. And I have to tell you, I was doing something else and doing the LizyT show. So it
Come on.
wasn't that I was doing this full time. And so you could do both. If you heart desired to write that book, to sing that song, to coach someone, it is there. I can guarantee you. I volunteer for seniors home, and one of the things that they have that as a common denominator is, I wish I could have. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I would have. I wish I could have helped. I wish I could have pursued that. And one of the things that I do not want to do is die with regret. And I know God has a purpose for all of us in this world to do something special. And if you die with that something special, I you're not going to be fulfilled. There's always going to be something inside of you that why am I not fulfilled? Why am I not happy? Why am I not feeling to my fullest? It's because you have something that it hasn't been done yet. It hasn't been fulfilled. It hasn't been complete.
Exactly, exactly. And Les Brown says it this way. The he says the richest place on earth is the graveyard, because so many people's dreams, ambitions, hopes, desires die with them. And they were because they were too scared to tap into the things that were already placed inside of them, the power that they already had. And so, I love that you said that, because I hear it all the time. I'm not gonna do it because it's too hard, because nobody's listening, because I get 2 likes on social media, because nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And the honest answer is, yeah, you do have a platform. Like, whether you realize it or not, people are always watching. They may
Mhm.
not say anything, but there's a whole lot of social media stalkers, right? How many people, if you look every day, somebody's on their phone just doing this. They're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, right? Um, Bless you. And so I love that you said, you got to get going, and that's how you build that platform. What was one of the biggest challenges for you that to get your platform built?
And one of the things, and I definitely going to answer that question, what was the biggest challenge? But one of the things I would like to ask you that is watching today, tomorrow, next week, whenever you can catch this, can you imagine if I would have gave up after the first month, the second month, the third month? Because it took me 6 months, and it was only once on Sunday night for half an hour, give or take, that someone listened to my show. Can you imagine if I would have give up?
Mhm.
What the whole legacy that I have created here, that would have been always all the hundreds, and I can say hundreds of authors that I've had coming through my show, all the books. My I wish you could see, and I'm changing my platform because I have a plethora of variety of books from people that have sent it to me as a thank, and beautiful books of people that have written their story, their testimonials, their inspirational stories. So absolutely. So the challenges are many. One of the thing is motivation. Sometimes you feel like doing this and sometimes you don't. And one of the things that I find that motivates me is my guests. My guest has such an incredible testimonial, such an incredible story, such a compelling story, such a I can't even describe. Sometimes I cry in the show sometimes. It is it is so incredible for me not to share, so selfish rather of me not to share. I'm thinking, can you imagine if I would have said today, no, I don't feel like doing this? This
Mhm.
person would have left, would have missed this opportunity. And not only that person, sometimes I do it just for me. The other challenge of doing this is sometimes you don't see the financial rewards. And I figured, God already gave me my pay, and he paid for my sins, and my rewards already in heaven. So sometimes it's not just about the money. And I do have sponsors, and I do have um other ways of making income. And so if I don't concentrate always in on the cash, I get a blessing. I get so much funds that I'm figure, wow, where this is coming from. And so I think I'm thankful for that. The other challenge is sometimes I don't have enough time, which is a good challenge to have. I have so many days, and I like to dedicate the weekends for my family, and I have an elderly mom. I take her to church. So I figured I don't have enough time to do all this, and I need another Lizzie. But there is a certain people that matches my show, and certain people that I match with them. So not everybody, and I've come to this conclusion, and I come to the realization, and I'm at peace that not everybody likes Lizzie, and Lizzie doesn't like everyone, and that's okay. So that's definitely another challenge. Sometimes I don't have enough time to do all the people that have come through my way. But we find sometimes I do exceptions, and I do a show on the Saturday, and or on a Sunday if it's a book that needs to be out there because they're launching the book and it's going to be a big thing, and I definitely want to be able to help. And I'm here to serve. I mean, we're all here to serve, and we have Jesus as our biggest example. We have to serve.
Absolutely, absolutely. Trevina, your favorite nurse, said hello. And Priyanka, who is actually, she was a guest. She actually builds book funnels and other funnels to help with marketing for authors and for entrepreneurs. Says she faces the same challenges in her journey, and like you said, it's not always the financial rewards, because people look from the outside and they're like, you must be just balling, you must be making all this money. Not always. Not always. It's not always the case, because when you have a heart for doing for others, there is usually something that you're giving more than you're receiving, right? But I was
The rewards of seeing someone else shine, the reward of seeing
yes.
someone else in being the star. And sometimes, most of the time when I do my show, I actually take myself off the screen because I want my author to shine. I want them to have to take over this platform. I want them to show and people to be able to see in their eyes, how genuine they are, how truthful they are, how much they heard going through that experience, how much they suffered, and those things are what attract the public to their story. Being genuine, being truthful, feeling vulnerable sometimes, which is very, very a scary thing to do. I had to be vulnerable many, many, many times through my own story, through my ordeal, and to write my own story about being abused and all those things. It's very tough, but that's what brings your audience to you, because someone out there has gone through what you have gone through,
Mhm.
and they want to be able to see if you can help them somehow. And that is one of the key things. Your book, your story can help one person. You're not going to be able to save the whole world. I figured one life, one soul that you're able to reach, I think you're complete. I am anyways.
Exactly, exactly. If it's just one, that made a difference, because you may have just saved one person's life, as opposed to, and a lot of times it's, as a speaker, a lot of times when you go into a room, and maybe there's a lot of confusion going on, but there's going to be that one person that walks up at
Hmm.
the end of the speech. And it's the same with a book. There's going to be that one person who reads that book from cover to cover and says, I felt every word in here. I
Yeah.
felt where you were coming from, because I'm in the middle of my storm right now, and you helped me get through it. So I definitely received that. um Something that happened to you recently, and we talked about this around Christmas time when we had our conversation.
Hmm.
Um, one of the What was that challenge like? Because most people don't understand the challenges when people perceive you at a certain level, they try to take from you, because
Hmm.
they want. So you remember the event that I'm talking about?
There've been so many things happen, but around Christmas,
The
m-
account.
I beg pardon.
Your account.
Right. Yes, yes. Yes. We had in the LizyT Show Instagram over 5,000 followers. And when you become a little bit too popular and people just kind of get the sense of, if I'm able to connect with this person, maybe I can get type of followers. And it's not a big number anyways. It's not like I was, a million or 10,000. But anyhow, you get a lot of people bombarding you with questions and inviting you to participate as a promoter and influencer. Long story short, all of a sudden I connected with somebody who was in the LizyT Show a long time ago, Miss Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic here representing Canada, and connected with me saying that, hi Lizzie, remember me, I have a great opportunity for you. And obviously I didn't even doubt it. I mean, this is somebody that I had on my home studio, and we've interviewed her, and there's no reason for me to doubt. Well, it happened that this person had their account hacked, and we had our account hacked. And I have to tell you, it was disastrous. It was so painful. It was so, I never thought I would be attached to a social media account the way that I was attached, because I have connections. And the way you talk to me right now, brother, is the way I am with other people. And I kind of connect with, I mean, we've talked offline. It's the same, I'm the same person.
Same person,
And
yeah.
so I took it to heart, because this is people that now have been connected on my behalf, asking for money, asking for to invest in who knows God what, to have, And long story short, it was, I had to pray. I had to kind of give it up, and I said, it's with you, Lord. I'm not going to dwell on this. This is, if it's not meant for me to have this, amen. And I ended up contacted with my hacker. And I remember finding his number and connecting with him in social media and WhatsApp, and I said, what you doing is wrong. There will be a judgment. And I ended up actually preaching to this person and saying, you are a good person, but what you're doing is completely wrong. You're stealing. No, not liars, thief, blasphemer will enter the kingdom of God. And I remember preaching. I said, I don't hate you. I think what you're doing is wrong. Long story short, I had no idea, but all of a sudden this person gave my account back. And I was like, wow. I
Yeah.
contacted Instagram, I contacted Facebook, I sent tons of email, change a password, you name it. It was about 3 months worth of work. And finally this person said, fine, have your account back. And basically it gave me access for me to change my password. Once I changed my password, it was back to me. So wow. And challenges comes they come all the time, and you have to be prepared to say, this is what God wants from me or not. And most of the time, if you trust and you put your faith on him, and you say, I give it up to you, I cannot have control of this, things work out. Trust me. It happens to me, and I'm not no one special.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you are special. Don't say that. I had a similar experience
I remember
where,
you saying that.
yeah, my Facebook and my Instagram got hacked, and I just had to start over because I remember, and a lot of people were like, "Is it really you? Like, tell me something that only you would know." I'm like to reconnect, but there were a lot of people that over the years. And Trevina says you are special. um, there are a lot of people over the years that you build these relationships with, and we
Yes,
don't realize how powerful social media is. But you build genuine relationships with people that you would have never in a million years met if you weren't on social media. So that's extremely powerful. One thing that I'm going to do, because you have a few people that are tuned in with this, Tamara Black, Trevina George, Terry Horntek, who I was telling you about, and
love you,
Kathy,
sister.
Kathy Kadori, and also Tori Davis. One thing that I want to do is I can, like, each one of those names that I just mentioned, I can vouch for them being good people, and I would love for you to be able to interview them on your show if you would be open to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coming from my brother, absolutely. I will love, it will be an honor to have them on my platform. Same format here. And obviously, it will be the LizyT Show. And I know that you have a great story. You have an incredible book, and the world needs to hear it. And the world needs to, again, one person can identify with your story, can help one person. That I think that's great. That's a great accomplishment. So yeah, absolutely, get in touch with my brother, and he will be connecting with you, and we will connect to have you on my platform for the whole world to see it. 84 countries, which is a big accomplishment. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm proud of the fact that you didn't stop when that voice, because we all have that voice in the back of our heads. Some of those voices are very quiet, like, you're not you're
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 not
not
good enough.
you're not good enough. You, like, for me, a lot of times, and here's my testimony, right? Um, I went to UT, top 10 when I graduated high school. I have no college degree. The last five people that have reached out to me individually to work with me have all had PhD or doctor attached to their name. And it's like, okay, God, you see me as this person that should be that. And it's just a testament of testimony of fortitude, because most people don't see they don't see those dark hours. They don't hear that voice in the back of your head. They don't see what it really looks like. So, what would you say to somebody who either they want to do a podcast of their own and to build their platform, or they're just beginning their journey as a new author? What would you say to them?
And I love this question, brother, because it is an incredible question. This is the type of question that people will make it or break it. And absolutely, we all have we're own naysayers. We have enough people out there saying that it's too hard, we can't, you're not good enough, blah blah blah. Then we have ourselves, which we question and we sabotage ourselves, and we say it's I am nobody to be doing this or to be writing this. So it is actually a good thing that you have those own questions in your mind. I think it's a great thing. At least your own self is still having that. Can I? Nah. The problem, I see it when there is no voice and there is nothing. It's like you shut it down, and that's it. It's not even the back of your head in that little drawer. It's just completely out. That is a problem. But when you still have those doubts, think, could I? Then to me, that's a great thing that you should definitely pursue it. Definitely look after um, op- opening up your own podcast. There's so many ways nowadays with the internet how you can run your own thing. Facebook, Instagram. I mean, there's about 10 social media platforms right now that you can start doing your thing. Your cell phone, You don't need a great looking camera, what we have here in the studio, or lights. The cell phones that come with incredible mics. So just start talking on your phone. Tell your story from your heart, from inside of your soul. And I can guarantee you there's someone, it might take 6 months, maybe not, it might take one, will listen and will say, you know what, I really love what you said. It touched me. And that will inspire you to start another and another and another. And people are going to start looking after you and say, I love your style. I love your way you do things. I love the way you connect with people. Because again, I don't connect with the whole world. I just connect with few, and that's good enough for me. But you could connect with other parts of the world, or other people that are they're not the right fit for me, but they're the right fit for you. And that's really number one. Just get started. Just do it, and you will get the taste. And it's kind of addictive. It's
Oh yeah.
kind of addictive. You just like, oh, I want more of this. I want to be able to feel more of that. And once you get the taste of it, I can guarantee you, you will be hooked. For the book, it took me almost 5 years to write my book. And not because I'm not a good writer, which I'm not the greatest writer. It's because the story that I'm telling here is very personal, and is very touching, and is I went through abuse. So for me to write, be vulnerable that way for everybody to see it is very challenging. And now I'm open, I'm exposed. But there's someone who's going through the same ordeal that I'm going through that could have their life change. Instead of them thinking of suicide, they can say,
Mhm.
God still loves me even though I'm this way. And so if you have a story, obviously not similar, hopefully not similar to mine, but a story of inspiration, a story that you overcame something, a story that you started a brand new idea, someone out there will identify with you and will tell you, this is what I was looking for. And so it only takes that, you know, that one line, once upon a time, and all of a sudden your fingers will just take you to write the rest after. And it doesn't have to be a big thick book. Like you can see, mine's not that big, but just start doing it. Just start.
Yeah, just start on it. Get and I love that because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the single step, and most people are just too scared to take that first step. But there is a platform out there. There is, you know, my my mentor Saul Paul always says it this way. He says, what if you grew up in the hood and you think that basketball is the only way, right? I'm 6'7". I never played college basketball. I cried through high school because I sat on the bench for 4 years.
Oh,
But what? Yeah, okay. But
you gotta make
I,
me cry now, poor honey.
yeah, yeah, but I did find my passion was in writing. And it's not writing traditional writing. Like I don't like writing books. However, I'm a multi-time, author. And so, but what I discovered once I put my first book out there was there were so many people that were sitting back with binoculars on like this, like I'm watching you, and just weren't saying anything. And then eventually those people started coming up to me saying, hey, can you help me? And so it's not the fact that you are supposed to fit in with everybody. You probably won't fit in with everybody around you because you were born different on purpose. There's everybody says, I'm not normal. There's no such thing as normal. Right? There is absolutely no such thing as normal because everybody has a different set of experiences. Um,
One of the common denominator about us entrepreneurs or writers or content creator, we are definitely not normal. We're definitely don't have the same programming, if you may say so, that most of other people. We're always looking, always trying to figure out things on our own. Most of us don't have that higher education. Some of them do. And so absolutely, I can so identify with what you said. We are definitely the weird bunch, but we're the good weird bunch.
Yeah, we're the good weird bunch. and and that's the thing. Like a lot of times we don't fit in. And if you don't fit in the circle that you're around, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It means you may need to switch and shift and start looking for your tribe, because there's a tribe out here
You're
for
my tribe.
yeah, and you're in my tribe. and and it's so amazing to see people that actually begin to build off of just being uniquely yourself, because there's so many people in this world who are looking for you,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely. And if you hide that, if you've turned the light off on that, if you don't let your soul shine, I can guarantee you, you're going to regret it. It's going to be at one point in your life, just like what happened to me, that you're going to say, why did I not do that? And you don't want to be in a senior home or lying in your bed and said, oh, I had the opportunity. I heard Lizzie, I heard Sugar Ray saying this, and I didn't take,
Mhm.
I didn't take the opportunity. Why? Right? And we're not talking here about being hugely famous or multi-billionaire. We're talking about just fulfilling that one part of your life that is meant for you to do, that's meant for it meant for you to, for it to happen. And to, for you to be a vessel, for you to help someone, for you to be a light to the world, right? That's what we were called to be the light of the world. And you know what, there will be one day that we all 10 out of 10 die. We're
Mhm.
all going to be one day up there and said, well, were you a good and faithful servant? And your
Mhm.
answer has to be yes. I did everything you told me to do.
Exactly. And Trevina, Trevina said, she said, I'm y'all's tribe. And you definitely are, sis. So listen, for those of y'all that are tuned in, we can go on and
Oh
just
yes.
yeah, because this is just really just a normal conversation for us. But for those of y'all that are looking to take it to the next level, to the international level, I'm going to the ones who tuned in live with us. I will refer you to Lizzie so that you can be on her show. And she's the same way that she is now. She's just as amazing
Mhm.
on that. She loves God, she loves people, and she loves to help to promote others, which is that selflessness, which is why we vibe. Um, because it's there. It's something that's there. Um, I can speak a few of those languages that you can speak as well. Yo hablo poquito español. A
Habla
ver.
poquito español. Good,
No,
good, good, good.
yeah.
And it's interesting because a lot of the people that I've connected in the Spanish speaking community or the other languages, they are very eager to, because English is a universal language. So some of them are studying English and they want to have their book not only published in Spanish, but they want to have their book translated into English. So there is that international connection with different languages now. I'm actually working on my book to be translated. Actually, it's already translated. I just need to be published in Spanish and Portuguese. Because again, you want to be able to reach different parts of the world, and a book is basically a business card in steroid, more than the story, more than your testimonial, more than your life, more than your inspiration, but also is telling you, hey, I'm published.
Hmm. Exactly. And when you're ready, I already made you a promise that we're gonna get that thing done.
He is too good. This guy is you have to get connected with him. He is amazing. I love him.
And we recently translated Trevina's books into Spanish as well. So
Wow,
yeah,
congratulations.
her books are translated into Spanish. Do you have any last words for the authors?
My last word is, brother, this has been, we started as a little bit of a trial because we knew it was going to be this good. And for me to have this opportunity to share my tiny little story, my success story, you guys probably can imagine me, a 5-year-old with a wooden stick, uh, funny, but really it gives you that idea that your dream, for as little as it may be, it could turn into something big, it could not. But the fact that you're just following and you're pursuing it, and you're saying to those naysayers, including yourself, no, let me try it. I think that speaks volume. And so take that opportunity for you to write that book, for you to sing that song that you have written, and for you to be that amazing person that God made you to be, because I can do all things through Christ to strengthen me.
Come on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, I love you, sis.
I
And
love you too, brother.
to each of y'all that are tuned in, like I said, the ones that are tuned in live, I'm gonna make that personal connection to Lizzie so that you all can hit that international platform with her. But also, you got to do me a favor and make sure you love on my sis like she loves on you, right? Because that's what we do is we show love and we send love and light out into the world, right? So I love y'all, and we love you too, Trevinian, and we'll see you next time. Love y'all.